Good morning, I'm not Melisa Idris, I'm her substitute, Sharaad Kuttan, the guy from Monday. Yes, it is Friday, the 2nd of May, and Morning Headlines leads with stories from yesterday's Labor Day commemorations, events that take on issues of labor rights as well as questions of the GST, the TPPA, and a range of other things. Now, the story that in fact takes the front page, hijacks it in some ways, is this small little story of a scuffle that for some newspapers is the main story. So the anti-GST fracas here, yes, it does mar, but it says it's a largely peaceful rally. And that's the consensus for most of the papers, except the Malay papers. Now, if you look at that, look at Berita Harian, there you have it, Hentikan Perhimpunan Ganas, which means end these violent protests. Largely it's a statement, as with the other newspapers, of an anti-protest, anti-rally sentiment that's in the papers. You see that also in statements being made by former leader Mahathir Mohamad. Here you have Perhimpunan Tak Aman, so they kind of inserted the Ta before Aman, and also in Utusan, which goes really granular with the protest yesterday. It says there, it is in fact an opposition rally. Yes, and it's violent. It's deviant because the presence, allegedly, of LGBT groups claiming rights in this country, and also some confusion among the organizers. So there you have it, their take on the story of yesterday's protest. Now, the Malay Mail takes it a little further, has very interesting insight into what happened, especially with the question of fire bombs and flares being used at the rally. They say this is in fact is part of football culture that's now invading some of the activist culture. So from football stadia I guess would be the plural of stadium, to the city streets. So interesting take there by the Malay Mail. Sinar Harian has the same thing. They too say it was largely a peaceful rally. Now, Sinar Harian's other story, and the main story really on its front pages, is this: Bukan Islam Jangan Takut, which means don't be afraid. Non-Muslims needn't be afraid. And what needn't they be afraid of? Well, it's hudud, and the hudud story continues, especially on page 2, where you see some sense of where this is all going to and what past strategy might be in the coming months in the lead up to that private members bill that's going to be tabled that will allow for Kelantan to finally pass its much awaited hudud enactment. Now there it is, they're hoping that all Muslim MPs vote on their side. Now, are they going to be playing up religious sentiments in the lead up to the private members bill? We'll wait and see, but that's a big one. Now, this is a slightly misleading story here. It's not that the Menteri Besar of Selangor is going to be resigning. He's only saying that he wants only 2 terms. He's taking this term, his second, to completion, but he's not going to seek a third. So, slightly misleading there. The other story in the papers, of course, is the MH370 report. Now, it's not revealed much that's new to anybody who's been following this case, except to say and underscore the fact that there were 4 hours of confusion following the missing planes first report. Now, the Star has that in its inner pages, but the front story is a story for all of you who don't like to read negative news, who're just tired of all the negativity and the criticality in our newspapers and want something fun. Yeah, so this is a story about treasure coins found. How many of this multi-billion ringgit treasure, allegedly, that is in Pulau Nangka? Well, just 2 50-cent size coins made of copper. Are they a signal that there are billions underground? We don't know, but it's a fun story, like so much else that is part of legend. It's great to speculate. I don't quite know why this is a front page story. This is only 2 coins found just before the contract for the expedition expired. So that's all we have this morning. But before I go, I'm going to leave you with the phrase of the day, which is Jangan Takut. Jangan Takut. Jangan takut what? Jangan takut demokrasi lah, Dr. M and all these other guys. It's not that scary to have people rallying on the streets calling for democracy or calling for an end to the GST policy or any of those things. It's just democracy. It happens in other countries. Jangan takut, okay? That's all I have for you this morning. I'm Sharaad Kuttan on BFM's Morning Headlines. BFM 89.9.